Hello all, hope you're doing well. This is part 4 of my interval series, and today we're going to finish off the major intervals. In the previous videos we've done the perfect fifth, the perfect fourth, and then we've also done the major seventh and second. Now we are going to do today the major third and the major sixth. And just like before, I'll give you some little song ditty things that'll help you remember the intervals, and pause the video at any point to listen again and again and again until you think you've got it. That's perfectly acceptable. So today, major third, we'll start with the major third. Again, we're just going to start, if you're using a piano or a piano app, we're going to start back on C4. That's middle C. And so the major third is, and I'll play those back to back, so you've got the C4 and then E4 right above that. That's your major third. Alright, so that interval in and of itself is very close to the major second. It's just a little bit higher, but I find that it's a little bit easier to hear than the major second, especially since there's lots of songs out there that are major thirds. A major third is crucial for most any sort of major chords. You must have a third in there to make it sound nice and have good harmony. So major thirds are easier to pick. But for you all, I'll give you a couple songs to help you remember those. First one I ever learned for the major third is actually "Oh When the Saints Go Marching In." Now, if you don't know that song, it goes something like this: "Oh when the saints bum 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 bum." Now the first two notes of that is the major third. Oh when bum 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 bum. Oh when the saints. Okay, so there's that. That's one song. Now if that's not your speed, if that doesn't really do it for you, if you're a Beatles fan, "Can't Buy Me Love" has the major third in it. Can't buy me love. Can't buy. The first two words of that, the first two notes of that song have the major third in it. And then, just to give you a third one, because it's the major third, give you three examples. This is if you're military folks. You've got "From the Halls of Montezuma." From the Halls of Montezuma. From the halls of Montezuma. Yeah, the first two notes of that. From the halls. From the major third, bum bum, from the halls. All three of those songs work, and there's tons more out there that you can find and should find to help you remember the major third. That's just the broad strokes of that one. It's not too flashy, nothing too crazy about it. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's one of the easy, like I said, it's one of the easier ones to understand, easier one to hear naturally. Our ears are more attuned to those just because of popular culture utilizing the major third in so many things nowadays. So that is the major third. Again, if that didn't make any sense, pause, rewind, go back, listen to it again. Listen to these over and over again so that you can get the interval in your head and in your ear. It just takes time, it takes training. Thus it's called ear training. And so there you go. Now the next interval is the major sixth, and that's not as easy, but it's still not terrible. There are, again, tons of songs out there that utilize these, because I mean all these intervals that we've been talking about are the staples of every single melodic line you've ever heard, and so you can find many examples of all these intervals on these videos anywhere really. But the one that I will give you, the one example I will give you, if you've ever been in one of my classes before, this probably was the bane of your existence, because we had a great exercise on posture related to this song, but it's called "My Bonnie Lies Over the Ocean." If you've never heard that song before, that is the song for it. Now first off, let's rewind this image and go back and play the major sixth for you. So again, starting on the C4, and then major sixth above that is actually A. Okay. A. That's 5. Yeah? Yeah, that's right. A5. So you got So that is your major sixth interval. Okay. And if you've already heard this and know the song that I'm talking about, My Bonnie Lies Over the Ocean, then you probably already knew the next part of that line. But the beginning of that song is the major sixth. My Bonnie lies over the ocean. My Bonnie lies over the sea. So you've got the major sixth in there. My to bon is the major sixth. Okay? My Bonnie lies over the ocean. You've got all that stuff to listen to, and if you ever want to have a nice discussion, if you're ever in a choir, if you're a choir teacher and you've never done this, I'm sure many of you have, but if you've never done this before, a great exercise on posture is to have your good singing position seated, if that's your position 2. If you're going from position 2 or position 1 or 3, whichever one you call standing with good posture, you can have a great exercise of that if you change from 2 to 1. I always called it 3. If you go from 2 to 1 or 2 to 3, seating to standing, whenever there is a word in that song that has the letter B in it. So you've got my ba, and it stands up. That's a little freebie for you if you've never done that before, but I'm sure a lot of you that are watching this video have been in my class before and you've done it. So there you go. You can get you some exercise in if you haven't been outside like I have in quite some time. This is the height of the coronavirus stuff, so there you have it. I got something showing up on my computer right now. I don't need you. Later. Go away. Go. Little pop-up thing. Go away. Alright. So, that is your major sixth. The My Bonnie Lies Over the Ocean, and if that didn't make any sense for you, go back, listen to it again, and of course, at any time you can just post in the comments a question saying, hey, can you help me with this, or help me with that? I will do whatever I can to help you out. Alright, so that is the gist of this video. Just 2 intervals today. Last one was a little bit longer, and so I thought we'd take a step back and just do the last 2 majors and be done with that. Be done with major intervals after this video. Now the next video, stay tuned, because the next video we will start into minor intervals. And minors are much more, I won't say fun, because some people may not find it fun, but I find it fun. Minor intervals are really cool, and there's lots of little tips and tricks to help you remember those as well. So stay tuned for those. If you liked this video, if you learned a little something, hit that like button and subscribe to me. I would appreciate that. Also hit the bell and let it ring. Set it to all so that you can get notified whenever I post new videos. Also, if you watched the previous video, then you know about my playlist of songs. Again, that is not me particularly making any music. It's just songs that I like, and they're good songs that you can listen to and get a little journal response in there. If you don't know what the journal response thing is about, go to part 3. I talked about that for a good bit at the end of that video. So please check that out. I would really appreciate it. And like I said, in these times, I hope you're staying well and staying safe. And I also hope that you're staying in tune. Have a good day, guys. Thanks so much.